Hello everyone. I just want to do a quick kind of a live trade that I'm currently in on Bitcoin actually. Now I've really kind of missed out on all the Bitcoin hype, and to be honest I don't really understand it, and I haven't taken the time to really kind of delve into it and learn all about it. But I have been kind of looking at uh, Bitcoin for the past maybe month, just kind of playing with like the technical levels and seeing how price responds to the technicals. And this week, Bitcoin just kind of dumped on everybody. It just had a really, this is the Bitcoin dollar, you know, market or whatever you want to call it through TradingView. There's been a lot of news recently with Bitcoin being kind of open to futures traders, and they're kind of doing some processing of that. So I think that may have had something to do with the dump this week. But I mean, as you can see, it's just been ridiculous, and people have made a lot of money. Some of my friends have made thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars just riding this up. But it's kind of taking a dump this week. It's down about like 20-30% from the highs. But I did see an opportunity this morning, just purely technical based, that I wanted to go through right now. This is the NADEX platform, and I trade NADEX occasionally. I don't keep a ton of money in here, but I did see that they opened up a Bitcoin cryptocurrency spread. It's a weekly spread, which most of the spreads are just daily and hourly. But right now, Bitcoin had kind of returned back to the previous kind of demand zone where it pushed to new highs. So I just want to kind of mark that off here. And I simply used the 4-hour chart and entered on the 4-hour chart. Actually, I entered on the 1-hour chart. So let me kind of mark that up here. You can see this long wick down. The candle bodies were pretty uniform with where they were sitting, but we got this long wick down, another quick little wick down before that push to the upside onto new highs. And price just returned there this morning, and that's where I got in at. There was a few other little confluences there. I took a Fibonacci from this last little impulse move to the high, and then also this little kind of last little candle wick down before it kind of ripped up to the upside. I just use that as kind of like a support, a support level, because that was kind of the last little support level before it really ripped up. And you can see price return right back there this morning. And I entered on the 1-hour chart. We kind of had this little descending channel here that price was going to, that price was kind of following down in. So I just kind of took these lows here and connected them, and all that kind of intersected right there within that demand zone. So that's where I bought. You can see I'm up about 130 bucks right now, just 2 contracts. The only reason why I did this morning was because this is essentially the floor. So basically how these spreads work is you have a floor and a ceiling, and once price gets essentially to the bottom of the floor, you don't really have any more movement in your profit and loss. It's just kind of, that's the big thing that NADEX pushes, is it's capped risk. It's capped risk. I mean, you can't lose any more than what you invest in, the little spread contract. So that's really the only reason why I put it on. I don't have any other way of trading it. Bitcoin right now. So you know, I thought I'd play with this. You can see this is my live account. Yeah, that's just kind of the little thing. I'm not looking to, so these are weekly contracts. So, and this actually expires here in a couple hours. So I'm not probably going to hold it for too much more. I've gotten pretty much the movement that I wanted. And it's coming back. I mean, this thing's just on a rip-roaring, it's just down. I mean, this may be a kind of turning point. We're coming up here back up to some previous support, which may become resistance. So I'm just going to take it off there. I'll hold on, talk it out for a few more minutes and see if we can push up a little bit further to that level, and I'll go ahead and jump out for you guys. If not, I kind of have a little trail stopper thing going on here. So yeah, that looks like a pretty good place to go ahead and jump out with some profits. If we can push up a little bit more. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of record this video for everybody who's new to Bitcoin like me. I'm not associated with NADEX or anything, so I don't have any association with them or anything like that. It's good, in the sense that it's got capped risk. One thing that unless you have kind of a little bit of a larger account, it can be kind of skewed risk to reward management. There are ways around that, but I'm going to go ahead and see if I can tear this ticket off. I guess, I don't know. There we go. Sorry for being quiet. I'm on my little laptop here. I'm out of town for a vacation, so once we kind of pop up here, I expect some kind of maybe a little reaction. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump out there. If we can pop up just a little bit more, if I can find my ticket again. So we'll see. That's where I'm planning on taking it off. If this is kind of the top, then I'll cut it for a little bit less. But I just wanted to kind of record the video on how I trade. The way I trade, it doesn't matter what it is: stocks, indices, forex, futures. It's all about confluence for me. So that's that's how I trade. So we're sitting about 150, 160 bucks, somewhere around there. So I'm going to go ahead and probably take it off here. Let's see. I don't want to just drag it on here if waste your time, but we'll see. Just need one little push up there to this little kind of intersecting point. I think that will be a pretty good little bounce for me, and that's pretty much what I like to capitalize on with my style of trading. I'm not looking for home runs. I just get a couple base hits here and there. I don't wait for any kind of confirmation. So you can see my entry time. 9:20 a.m. was the the moment I entered, and if you drop down to the 5-minute chart here, this is the 9:20 candle. So I did take actually a little bit of drawdown because I didn't quite catch this intersecting point at the bottom, but not much drawdown. Definitely not nearly as much as I've profited. I think the most I saw was maybe minus 30 or 40 bucks or something like that. So yeah, I mean that's kind of, I don't know, I just wanted to talk a little bit about it. I've never done like a live trade before, so I thought it'd be cool to just kind of chat about. I'm going to go ahead and get ready to, let's see, I bought, so I want to sell back. The other great thing about NADEX is you don't have to wait until expiration to exit your trades. So you know, you can, sorry about that, you can exit anytime. You know, as soon as you enter, you can jump out. You know, that's a great thing about NADEX. And in fact, you know, when I do trade NADEX, I very, very rarely hold for expiration because, you know, I kind of like to just get those quick bounces, and you know, I'm not looking, like I said, I'm not looking to, you know, take the bones out of the market. I'm just looking for a little bit of meat. So that's kind of what I really like about NADEX. This thing's just kind of hanging out here. I do think it'll probably pop up real quick. We're sitting about 180 bucks. Not too bad for a quick little morning. So that's not bad. So I'm going to go ahead and just take it off here. You know, I'm not going to try and squeeze out that last couple bucks there. You know, I'm pretty happy with, you know, 100 and, let me actually close this one here. 188 bucks. We're going to call that the week or the day. So not a bad. Now the thing is you know, with NADEX, it's I don't know how much these Bitcoin spread charges are. There's a entry and exit fee. So it's like $1 in, $1 out type of thing. That's NADEX is an exchange, so it's not a broker. It's only kind of connecting your order with another person on the other end. So, and here's that little push up I anticipated. But, you know, I got my 180 bucks or whatever it was. You know, that's the movement that I was kind of anticipating. You know, it could very rarely just kind of rip from here and kind of start heading back up a little bit. But, you know, like I said, NADEX are short-term contracts. So people hark on binary options, which, you know, there's good reason, because it's, you know, really, you know, there's a lot of chop shops out there, and, you know, bucket shops or whatever you want to call them, that really just kind of rip people off and take their money. So that's really unfortunate. But you know, NADEX is a regulated binary broker or exchange, so they, you know, they're all regulated with the CFTC. There's only one other one, I believe it's Cantor Exchange. I've never traded with them, so I don't know how they work, but I believe that's the only U.S. based regulated binary options company in the United States. So, and there's that push up I was kind of expecting. But so yeah, I mean, you can see if you plan your trades, you can really profit pretty well on NADEX. You know, that was I think maybe, let's see, I think I probably risked about if that thing totally would have just tanked and went against me, it would have floored me out with the floor of the spread, and I think it would have been maybe 150 bucks loss. So I got my 1-to-1 essentially, you know, risk one to make one. I wouldn't have let it go all the way to that minus 150. I usually cut it. You know, if we would have gotten a close below, you know, probably a 15-minute candle close below kind of these levels here, this confluence here, I would have probably went ahead and exit. Like I said, I've never traded Bitcoin before live. This was actually my first live trade on Bitcoin, simply because, you know, I don't really understand it terribly much, you know, other than just the way I trade technically. That's all I kind of care about. You know, if my technical confluence is there, even, you know, with something as kind of exotic as Bitcoin. You know, it all seems to work. My time's about up, so I hope you guys found this useful, and